My name is Hyung-Yoon. I'm singing the role Onegin. The character is like, he's a dandy, young, but very arrogant and very cynical. Yeah, it's like that.
My name is Maria Kanyova, and I'm singing Tatiana, a character who is a dreamer and someone who really likes to read, very much a deep thinker.
My name is Scott Ramsey. I'm singing Lenski. And Lenski as a character is a poet, and he is very romantic and also somewhat of a dreamer. But his heart is very large, and his temper is kind of short.
My name is Jamie Van Eyck, and I'm singing Olga. I am Tatiana's younger sister, and Olga is outgoing and fun, and not a very complex girl. Not to call her unintelligent, but she's a simple girl, and she likes the simple things in life. I'm kind of similar to Olga in that I have an older sister, but I also have a younger sister. But my older sister is, I'd say, quite responsible, and she also is a big reader and always kind of did what she was supposed to do. So I think I have an idea of what it feels like to kind of want to shake things up a little and break her out of her shell. I do think I probably think about things a little bit more in an in-depth way than Olga does. So I'm trying to lighten it up for this role.
It's funny, I think Lenski is much like myself in that I can be a bit of a romantic from time to time, but I also think that Lenski takes things personally, and I as a person take things personally. And as you'll see in the opera, he kind of gets offended very quickly by Miss Olga here and her flirtatious ways. And I think that I can tend to do that as a person. That's one of the things I'm trying to work on as a person. But otherwise, I think through my art, I'm learning about myself, which is the way it is normally.
I've thought a lot about Tatiana. This is maybe the fourth or fifth time I've had the opportunity, the pleasure to sing the role. And I do think I have some similarities. I am a bit of a brooder. I'm a dreamer. I love reading. The big difference, though, is that I have a sense of humor. I use it a lot. And I don't see that in Tatiana. That would probably be the biggest difference. But I do connect with her sense of romance, her sense of her reverie, being that she's lost in her dreams. I do connect with that, and I really try to channel that as I portray the character.
For me, totally opposite. And that's why I like Onegin, because as an opera singer, as a baritone, that not much of like dandy kind of role. So it's good chance to be like that. So I really like that point, totally opposite way of mine and Onegin.
I would probably say the latter. I hate to say that, because I would love to think that she just was head over heels smitten. This is absolutely the right man. Couldn't be another one. But I'd have to say, judging from the age and her inexperience and the fact that she's lost in novels, it's probably an infatuation and drawn out to an extreme. That isn't to say that it couldn't have been something real. At the end of the opera, when, am I giving it away? When she says, what it could have been, I do believe they are of kindred spirit. I do believe that they could have had something wonderful. But in the beginning, the way she becomes smitten by him, I mean, most people probably wouldn't go that far with it until they maybe talked to the person or had a one date with somebody.
That's the magic of opera.
but that's what I love about her. I mean, I love that impetuousness. I love, you know, that she's so spontaneous in that way. It's brilliant. It's beautifully written, and it's a lot of fun to portray. But I do think it's probably a bit infatuation.
Oh yeah, I think so. And before, I mean, that's what she explained about her characters. I think it's almost the same thing. This is just like such a wrong timing. Due to wrong timing, this opera's, how can I say, the tragedy of this opera is, you know, exchange of fate, I think. That's, this opera wants to, you know, explain for those subjects. But, how can I say, as a Eugene Onegin, I think this is not in opera, but in Pushkin's novel, he is kind of really bad, also gambler too, because his father was gambler, you know, a crazy gambler kind of, and he lost lots of money for those things. And his character, his temper can be just like Tatiana's young time, the same thing I think. And this is what I said too to her. I was like a terrible dreamer before, just like you. That's what I said in the opera too. So I think that love also, as a Onegin, as a Tatiana, I think that can be really true, I think.
As I was saying, opposites attract, and I think there's something about Olga that, and her personality, that she doesn't take it so seriously. That she's not as heavy-minded as Lenski can be as a poet. But I think that she balances him in a way that he's never found before. I think if Tatiana and Lenski ever got together,
Oh my gosh, it'd be
it
the
would
end of the world. It would
just,
be like
everything
we would destroy.
Yeah, there would be lots of drama.
There would, yeah.
Yeah.
The opera would be over very short.
Yes.
I think as soon as the duel is waged, she realizes what a horrible situation this is and what the outcome could be. So, yes, I think she would just maybe become a little bit more like her sister in some ways. She probably becomes a deeper, more careful person and sadder. I mean, I think that's the kind of thing you just wouldn't be able to shake as you grew into your adult life, knowing that, you know, my behavior caused his temper to flare, which caused this duel to ensue. So, yes, I think if she did come back, it would be a very, very different, she'd be a different person.
I think the opera has so much to offer. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I mean, I think it has a little bit for everybody. It has, you know, also dancing, wonderful orchestration, wonderful direction, great singing, as I said, great sets, and it's a period piece, which I think is nice. A lot of times operas are updated, and I think it's great that we get to see something kind of historical a little bit. And it's a very accessible story. Even if you're not familiar with it, I mean, reading the synopsis isn't, you know, too difficult. And I mean, it's not a complex plot. And I think that it's, you know, it's a great opera, whether you're an opera aficionado or whether it's a new opera for you.
I think the language is one really exciting reason to come and see this production. I don't know that anything in Russian or Czech or anything along those lines has been performed in Madison in a while, so it's pretty exciting, and it's a very beautiful language to hear sung. People don't always expect that about it.
I think the bottom line is going to be the music. I think that this score is so amazing, and the music is so beautiful, and I think that a lot of people are familiar with the works of Tchaikovsky, the Nutcracker, Romeo and Juliet, and hearing something, I don't want to say completely different, but it is different from what you've heard in that it's vocal, and his vocal writing is amazing. absolutely amazing, and the Russian language fits it so perfectly. And I think that if for anything, you're just going to get a treat to the ears.
It's what, like music, first of all. That time, Tchaikovsky, when he take on to make this opera with Pushkin's novel, was very controversial, and he was very kind of afraid of and very worried. But he succeeded, and you can see why through this opera. I think.
Well, he wrote the libretto with a friend, and I mean that's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
A lot of times composers rely on someone entirely different to do it, but it's it's really from his heart and soul, and
Yeah.
that for that reason it's beautifully set, and yeah, he did succeed.
Pushkin, at that time, Pushkin was like a Shakespeare in Russia. Pushkin was very much greatly respected for the literary figure in Russia. So that's why Tchaikovsky was very afraid of that. How can I do this? But he did it. It's the music. Oh my God, amazing! It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Yes.
Come see.